Hi, I'm Gabriel Lewis, and I really appreciate you tuning in to my YouTube channel, where I'm fat and not ashamed. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, do me a favor, click that subscribe button, click share it with somebody, and let them know that it's a big dude on YouTube, and he's giving us great information. Well, for those of you who are listening for the first time who've never heard my story, probably about not a year ago, but somewhere around May or June, I had a very serious health threat. Nearly lost my life. And due to some interventions from some great people, from some herbal and medical doctors, man, I started coming back on this side of life. Started taking some of the treatment around June, probably around the middle end of June. And man, I started coming back. Started feeling good, getting better. I mean, I was at death's door. And if you really want to hear the whole testimony, you can go back to my first YouTube, which tells the whole story of why I started. But long story short, all back in September, man, I was doing great. Went back for another doctor's checkup. Weight was coming off, man. It was melting like butter. My health was doing great. Respiratory was getting strong. Heart was getting strong. For those of you who know about diabetes, you know that one of the tests that they give you is what is called the A1C3 test. Man, my test on the spot when I walked in the doctor's office was 7.2. And I said, hey doc, I just ate, before I left home. She said, don't worry about it. We got a new test. We can check it right now. In the beginning, when I started this health journey, my A1C was all the way up to about a 13. So man, it had come down good. My blood pressure was stabilizing. My blood sugar was stabilizing. I was getting blood readings on an average of 100, and started exercising. And I got to the point where, man, I could even jog a little bit. I was jogging around the house, feeling good. Like I said, my respiratory was strong. I wasn't feeling like every breath I was taking that I was getting ready to die. Man, my faith was high. My hopes was high. I'm like, man, I'm going like, man, for the first time in my life, I'm getting ready to do this. I'm getting healthy. For those of you who don't know, I've been overweight all my life, man. I've been, I went from the doctor saying I was grossly obese to morbidly obese, all those terms. And for the first time, man, I really had a confidence that I was getting ready to lick this thing. And so here we are in the doctor's office in September. I'm all over YouTube now, getting a lot of responses. Man, I'm feeling good. Done probably dropped about 50, 70 pounds, somewhere in that area. And we go in, my wife is with me. And we got this new doctor, this new nurse, whatever she was, and they were doing all the consulting. And so they came up with the idea, well, since your blood sugar's okay, we're going to take you off insulin. I didn't really like that. That kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Of course, my wife was with me. She I've been on insulin for years, and she was happy. She was all in, And what really, frightened me, where I was really hesitating, I've been on insulin probably since I've been in my 20s, early 30s. I'm 63, getting ready to turn 64 this year. And so to just snatch me off, I remember before doctors, when I was obeying and my blood sugar was coming, they were showing me how to wean myself off. Well, this kind of disturbed me. She didn't want to wean me. She didn't want to let it go down. She wanted to cold turkey me off of this insulin. I was really resisting it, And because of her and because of my wife, I said, oh, okay, well, I'll let them do it, And so she put me on this drug, which I'm not going to name. I'm not trying to sue no doctors or anything like that. Just want to warn you, those of you who watch it. And so she told me, how to take it. I couldn't even take, the full dose. She told me to just start taking half of it and just leave my insulin alone. And I remember the first day I took it, the next day, and she had told me all of the signs, how when you look at those commercials, if you're throwing up, if blood is coming out your nose and your feet are swelling and you're choking on your tongue, that kind of thing. She told me that, and I told her, I said, I'm already sensitive in my stomach area, and I don't know if I want to go through that. Well, of course, I started having everything that she had named I would have in the doctor's office. Man, I got a bloating in my stomach. It was a pain in my stomach that was unbearable. I started getting constipated again. Like I say, listen to my previous videos and you'll hear it all. And literally feeling like vomiting, feeling like somebody was kicking me in my stomach. And I mean, it was a pain that I never felt before in my life. All because overnight I switched. I listened and followed the directions of my doctor, and it was not working. And then to make matters worse, my blood sugars went from, like I said, around 100. It started going up and up and up. And my blood sugar started going up over 200 and 248, 258, going up almost to 300. And I called the doctor. I said, look, this ain't working, Well, you got to give it a try. It'll come down. So once again, listening to my doctor and my lovely wife of almost 40 years, I said, all right, I'll give it a try. Finally, after that, my brothers and sisters, I couldn't take it anymore. I did it about 5 days, and that blood sugar would not drop, and the pains and the agony from the stomach. I literally was feeling worse now than I was originally when I had originally got sick in May and had found out, that I was filled with toxins and all of that stuff. Couldn't have a bowel movement. I was so blocked, and I had been to, gastrologists, I followed all of the doctor's rules, and like I say, after I started the protocol of the natural herbs and, listening to the other medical doctors, man, everything was going good. My bowels were going good, everything, And when this started happening, I mean, it was like, I was dying again. And so even to this day, I'm still feeling the results of that setback. As a matter of fact, that's really what I forgot to mention that I was talking about, how to come back from a setback, part 2. I started this last week. And here I am again, after coming back, now I'm set back again. Man, what do you do? Have you ever gone through something in life where you've been trapped with it and you thought, finally, I'm winning this thing. And here I am again, set back. I'm now set back at this particular time, a couple months ago, or a few months ago, not because it was started in September. And I nearly, like I said, was in a worse position than when I originally started. So here I am now. Now I'm fighting for my life all again. I'm all on YouTube, bragging about how much weight I'm losing, how good I feel, the doctor's reports, And then this setback, I hit a wall again, miserable. I'm like, how do I get through this now? And so even though these previous videos that you've seen me from September up to now, man, I've been suffering, I've been fighting. But you know what? Learned a few things. And I jotted them down, and I want to tell you how to come back after 7. There's a few things that I learned on my comeback this time. Number one, and I mean it was severe, but number one, the thing that I learned this time in this setback is a thing that kept coming in my mind saying, Gabe, don't panic. That's the thing that started getting me through. Don't panic. Settle yourself down. Settle your mind down. You came back before, you can come back again. You know what to do. You got to start all over again at base 1. But then the second thing I learned about this setback is that you got to learn to make the necessary adjustments. That's all you have to do. Rather than panic, rather than jumping overboard, I said, okay, I got to make some shifts. I got to make some adjustments again. And I can't get stuck in that negative mindset like, oh, I'm dying. So I kept my positive thing going. I kept my affirmations going. I got tight on my diet. I said, if I cleared it once, I can clear it again. The third thing that I learned in this setback is that, and this is what I love, you got to learn to control the things that you can and let go of the things that you cannot. Man, that was hard for me to do. I've heard it said like that in so many ways, but that came in my mind one morning when I thought it was over again. Said, learn to control the things that you can and let go of the things that you cannot. Man, here I was trying to do the impossible, and something just kept telling me, let go. Let it go. Do what you can. And I knew what to do before. Eat right, exercise, keep my mind right. So that's what I did. But then the fourth thing that I learned in this situation is that you got to find the good in the bad. You got to find the good in the bad situation. And that's what I started doing. I said, there's got to be some good coming out of this. One of my favorite passages that I've quoted for years. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God and to them that are called according to his purpose. And that's what I had to lean on. That's one of the verses that I kept saying. There's got to be some good in this, because he said all things work together for good. The bad things, the rough things, the difficult things will work for my good if I don't give up. And then number 5 is the thing that I've been talking about. You got to continue to speak life, or speak the word, or speak affirmations over your life. Here I was just a couple of weeks spelling out fat and what it meant, focusing on the first week of the new year, and then affirming. And here comes, I had to put it into practice. I had to start affirming, speaking things over my life, speaking that sickness away, speaking that pain away, speaking that fear away. And I want to close with this passage, because this passage is probably one of the most powerful scriptures that I read daily, and that really helped me get through it. It's James 1, 2, and 4, and it's from the Message Bible, and this really did it for me. Dear brothers, is your life full of difficulties and temptations? Mine was. And this is what always just befounded me. It says, if your life is full of difficulties, then be happy. Man, how do you get happy when your life is full of it? Listen to what it says. For when the way is rough, listen at me, your patience has a chance to grow. So let it grow. Don't try to squirm out of your problems. For when your patience is finally in full bloom, then you will be ready for anything, strong in character and full and complete. Man, that has been one of the life jackets to help me float on this difficulty. My name is Gabriel Lewis, and you know me. I'm fat and I'm not ashamed. Listen, I don't know what you're experiencing. Maybe you had a setback. Maybe you suffered some difficulties. Maybe the doctor gave you some news that you can't figure out and you trying to get past it. Maybe you got a friend that's going through a turmoil. I come to tell you, if you keep your cool, if you stay level-headed, if you stay steady in the midst of the storm, even you, like me, can come back after any setback. Do me a favor once again. If you haven't clicked subscribe, do it now. Everybody goes through difficulty. Everybody goes through pain. Everybody goes through hurt. Don't be selfish. Do your friend a favor. Do your loved one. And share this with them to help them through their difficulty. I say once again, my name is Gabriel Lewis, and I'm fat, and I'm not ashamed. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.